Hello and welcome back to All for United WFC. Man City 1, Manchester United 0. I don't really know what to say about that. I guess the first thing, obviously, it was deserved. I don't think any United fan would argue that we deserved to win. Did we deserve to lose? Probably. I think if we were all being honest, we weren't in the game. We got absolutely dominated. I've seen a lot of people criticise the midfield. Rightfully so in some aspects. I don't think any player can come off and say they had a good game, if I'm totally honest. But for me, the issues weren't in midfield. The issues were out wide, and we were not closing that pathway down quick enough. Now, obviously, the elements, the wind and things like that did play a factor today, but it's the same for both teams, so that's not an excuse. And when you've got our tactic today seemed to be, and I don't know why, and I really don't know why we decided to go away from something that was working. And we decided to go there, and instead of playing our own game, we sat off. Now, that was clearly the game plan. And fair enough, if that's the way you want to go, you want to sit off and hit them on the break. We've got the pace to do that. We can do that on the counter. But it wasn't working. And at half time, I thought, okay, we're still in the game. It's 0-0. They had a couple of chances in the first half City, and I thought, we're going to have to change the way we're playing now because we cannot keep this up for another 45 minutes. And 15 seconds into the second half, we give the ball away. It's gone out for a throw in by the corner flag, and we're immediately on the back foot, and it starts again, and the pressure, and I think City hit the post midway through the second half as well, and it was just constant. Hempen Park were just absolutely tearing us apart out wide, and this was my worry when I saw the team sheet, because you got Ella Toon out wide and you got Russo out right. Both of them are not brilliant at tracking back, because they're not that defensive minded. Where obviously Leah, we don't know what happened there, but if you've got Leah and maybe Kirsty Hansen out there, you've got the cover. Now, in the first half especially, Honor was getting really kind of targeted by Hemp and Stokes on that side, and that's something we've all been talking about. We're going to have to nullify the wings, and obviously the goal didn't come from that. I'll come back to the goal in a minute, but we got absolutely battered out wide today because we didn't either pull people from midfield or pull the wingers back, because I don't know why we didn't recognise that and pull the players back into help the defence a bit more, because it was evident in the first half we were never going to keep that up. So it was disappointing to see that we didn't change it. And obviously the goal came. Again, I've seen a lot of blame laid at Zalem, but ultimately when you watch the goal back, Brun knocks the ball past her. Obviously, Zellem's then got to react. She's got to be stronger in that tackle. Brun shouldn't be kicking that away from her anyway if Zellem's called for that. But then Zellem's got to be stronger in the tackle. And then once it's past Zellem, either Diane or Maria have got to come for that. Don't let her have a shot from there. So it was poor around, really. I think Marriott's positioning, if you're being very critical. But other than that, someone's got to close her down. Zellem's got to take her down or get a foot in somewhere, or one of the two centre-halves have got to come out and take that. Don't back away and let them have a free shot. So, and then from there, we didn't really bounce back after that. It's tough for me to remember an actual chance that we had. I think the only ones I can remember, Martha Thomas had a header from the corner, which is a decent chance. But other than that, I don't remember us having a chance in the game. And overall, just really, really disappointing. Because I think we all went there today thinking the way we're playing, the way we've seen this team play, we thought we've got a chance against this City side. And we were not in that game at all. Scoreline-wise, yes, you're in it, at 0-0. But it was just constant City pressure. Every single time they picked the ball. I actually don't remember a time we strung 5 passes together. That's a huge problem. And when you're playing counter-attack, and this is where the criticism for me lays at Skinner's door, that you saw the counter-attack wasn't working. You've got to change it. Stick Jackie in midfield. I don't know what happened with Jackie, why she didn't come on today. Stick an extra midfielder in there, because the long ball was not working. Brun couldn't hold the ball up long enough to get players into play. Russo wasn't making the runs that she usually makes. Ella Toon couldn't get on the ball, and she just looked shattered anyway. Martha Thomas came on and actually looked quite good. But when you're relying on a counter-attack and you cannot get the ball on the floor, it's a huge problem. And we were forced to play the ball on the floor in the second half. And I think this is why we got more exploited, because we had to play the ball on the floor because the wind was against us in the second half. And we couldn't do it. We could not string 2 or 3 passes together. And And it just comes back to game management and composure on the ball. We could not beat the City press, and it seemed like City were just one step ahead at every point in the game. So it was a really difficult watch for a United fan. Does it mean top 3 is out the window? No, of course it doesn't. We're still in the mix. We're 2 points behind Spurs now. Obviously, City are only 2 behind us. City have probably got the more favourable run. When you look at fixtures, I think their only game that you could look at them and maybe stumble on is potentially Spurs away, which obviously could help us. But other than that, you're looking at their fixtures thinking they've got a good run in now. So for us, we're going to have to win pretty much every game. And that last game of the season against Chelsea now becomes ever so more important. And it's put us in a difficult place. And I think we come away today with a draw, at least. It's on for us. And I think now we've put ourselves in a tough position. I don't know why we went to City playing for the draw, because ultimately we've come out with a loss. And that's the most disappointing thing. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say on it. I'm just disappointed today. I think it's tough for me to pick a player of the match because I don't think anyone would come off that pitch and say they play well. I think Honor and Hannah Blundell probably the closest to. I thought they were okay. They were getting torn apart by the wingers, but it's not help when your wingers aren't helping to track back. So I'd probably give it to one of those two purely because they were on their own a lot of the time. And I thought Hannah in particular did well under pressure. So I'd probably give it to Blundell. But again, it's a tough one. So yeah, we need to bounce back obviously in the FA Cup game. But more importantly, we need to bounce back in the league. We've gone into this tough run with Chelsea, obviously in the Conti and Arsenal and City, and we haven't won any of them. So we need to try and get that winning formula back and need to get those clean sheets back as well. And obviously we know that Mannion's out, we know Millie Turner's out. So essentially this is our third and fourth choice centre-back pairing. So there is that as well. But yeah, I think today, I don't know what more to say on it. I don't know how to even analyse it properly because until I've watched the game back, I don't know. I don't know why we went there and sat off, but we did. And ultimately that cost us. And I tweeted earlier, late goals are costing us all season. Spurs, Everton, Arsenal, City twice now. These are going to cost us come the end of the season, I think. And it's disappointing. So I'll end it there. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Whenever this does go out, there's obviously the match reaction at 7 o'clock on Monday as well. So make sure you tune into that.